All right. Welcome, everybody. Good afternoon, Friday afternoon, last class of the day. It's so good to see some of you guys have actually made it here to join us. This is going to be a super short class today because I noticed that we don't have a whole lot to actually talk about. The formative assessment, I think, is pretty straightforward, pretty easy. And the main important thing or main new thing is really only one single question, only that last question there. All right. But I do want to just take this moment and talk about the test real quick. Okay, so this test, we have a test that's coming up on Tuesday. All right, so hi everybody. Hi Adam. Hi Hannah. And Hannah, your brother gave up his queen to me, by the way. He just left it there sitting so I could just take it. All right, anyway. So welcome everybody. Hi. This is going to be a super short class simply because you guys didn't have a whole lot of homework and you don't have a new assignment that I want to discuss, but hopefully you guys have all on your Google Classroom, you've all found your new homework assignment. All right, so it's that review assignment of chapter 12 and chapter 13. All right, hi, Terjoy again. Welcome. You were back with us during our Bible class earlier. So welcome. All right, and I just want to make sure, has anybody, so Adam and Hannah, you guys have probably been on there already. Did you guys notice, was there anything wrong with the homework? Did you guys find the review questions for chapters 12 and 13? William timed out. I wonder if William and Boren are actually traveling. I heard that Boren went back to China, and so maybe he was like in quarantine, and then he couldn't get on his VPN, which allowed him to get on, chess.com. And so that's probably what happened to Boren. But I'm surprised. I thought William was still in America. I don't know. Super confused. Jeremiah, what were you super confused about? Were you super confused about the homework or about something else? It was good. So you found it. So Hannah, you found the homework. It's good. So, Jeremiah, what are you super confused about? The review looks fine. Good. The subtractive and additive. Okay, that's actually, I didn't look at this carefully ahead of time. That's actually not going to be super important for us. Maybe you'll see a question on the test about that. Maybe not. But let's talk about it anyway. So I don't think it should take us a whole lot of time to discuss that. I figured you guys, in fact, in chemistry, we talked about this briefly, although not quite in this detail. And the whole new idea that I wanted you guys to read about was the polarization of light, which is pretty cool. But this question is very basic. And so I want you guys, whether there's a question on the test or not, I want you guys to read about polarized light. It's something, unfortunately, without being in class and going through PowerPoints, it's going to be hard for me to really show it to you guys as well. Plus, if we were in school, I have some demos that you can use with polarized light. It's pretty cool. So you have different polarizers and you can see how they work. So in the absence of that, make sure you guys read your books. I know it might not even be on the test. It might be on the test, it might not be, but make sure you guys actually read the book about polarized light. Okay, so with that said, let's go ahead and go over the formative assessment. Keep in mind, guys, we will have a test on Tuesday, okay? And so then on Monday, we're going to go through all of the review problems. Hopefully you guys found the review problems. The review questions are going to be similar to the test questions. And then you might have one question either about colors or about polarized light, or then again, you might not. I don't know. I might just feel like making it mostly just math type problems. We'll see what I feel like doing, because I have not made the test up yet, but I'm going to make the test up this weekend. All right. So with that said, let's jump into the formative assessment, and I'm just getting some paper here so we can go over this. Here we go. All right. And after we go through the formative assessment, if you guys want to talk about anything else, if you guys want to talk about, let's say, some lens diagrams or anything, or mirror diagrams or anything, we're welcome to do that. So let's see. Number one, you have a lens for a spotlight that's coated and it does not transmit yellow light. And so for all of these questions, the way I approached them was by just thinking about the color wheel, because the color wheel literally answers all three of these questions. So here we go. The color wheel is going to be like, let me see if I can get this. No, the light's going to just make it worse. No, that's good. All right. So color wheel is like what? So we have Roy G. Biv, and there's no real true color indigo. That was just a made-up color. Anybody that says there's indigo, that's just like, you know, maybe there's a Crayola crayon called indigo, but it's not a real color in the rainbow. Okay, so Roy G. Biv, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet, or violet is purple, and then it just goes around in a circle. Or you could draw the color wheel the other way. It really doesn't matter which direction you draw it. It's going to be the same answer either direction. So you could go counterclockwise, Roy G. Biv. I don't even know which way your book goes, but it doesn't matter. Okay, so here's the deal. For number one, the lens is coated with something so it does not transmit yellow light. If the source is white, what color is the spotlight? So basically, it's absorbing yellow, and everything else is being transmitted. Okay, only yellow is not being transmitted, and so the light is going to look violet. It's going to look the opposite color because this is being absorbed, and all of the other colors are going through, so the light's going to appear violet. But what kind of violet? It's going to be a very, very bright violet. It's not going to be a dark purple. It's going to be a light purple. Okay, so bright purple, light purple, however you want to answer number one. Okay, so number one is going to be, I would just say light or bright purple or violet. Okay, number two, can it be blue too? I'm going to say no. It shouldn't be blue, right? So if it were blue, it would be absorbing orange, right? But this specifically says it doesn't transmit yellow light. So it should be the opposite of it. So if something doesn't transmit yellow and it's a combination of orange, red, violet, blue, green, it's going to be purple, okay? So there's really only one right answer, and that's light purple or bright purple or something like that. All right, number two, a house is painted with pigments that reflect. So now we're talking about a reflection. So that's what you're going to see. It reflects red and blue light, but absorbs all the other colors. Okay, and so the light that you're seeing, therefore, is going to be a combination of red plus blue. Three main colors. Oh, okay. Yeah, you have to reference the color wheel to get that one. Sorry. Yeah, you have to get back to the color wheel for this one. Okay, so for number two, red plus blue. And these are the colors that you're going to be seeing, which means that you are absorbing all the other colors. Like it says that you get a pigment, it's going to reflect red and blue light, but absorb all the other colors, which means it's going to be fairly dark, okay? And so you're only getting blue and red. And so if you're only getting blue and red, or let's just go over here, blue and red, and those are the colors that it is not absorbing but reflecting. And I don't know how I could else draw this, but it's going to be what's in between them, okay? And so together, blue and red is going to make purple. And this was light purple. I'm going to say it's not going to be super dark purple, because super dark purple would be, let's say, if it absorbed red, orange, yellow, green, blue, but it's going to be significantly darker than this purple. So we're getting a whole lot of purple for this one. All right, so that's going to be purple. Now, what color does it appear if it's only illuminated by red light? So when it's illuminated by white light, you've got all these lights and it only reflects red and blue, so it's going to make purple. But if it's only red light is shine on there, well then, if there's no blue light, it's going to reflect only, well, red light. And so if it's shined, if you shine red light on it, and then it's going to be red. Ooh, let's make this. It's going to be red when red light illuminates. Okay? There's no other possible color for it to be other than red, because it's only reflecting red. Okay? So that's number two. Number three, what do we got going on there? We've got, what primary pigments would an artist need to mix in to obtain a pale yellow-green color? Okay? And so back to the whole color wheel, if we want a pale yellow green, so we're looking at Roy G. Biv. If we want a yellow green color, and if you're trying to mix some kind of pigments together to make that, you want to make it as want to have as few colors as possible, right? For a situation where it's going to be a pigment. And so for paint, you're going to mix, well, just green and yellow. And if you want it to be really pale, in all honesty, you probably also add some white to it. Okay, because white paint will whiten it out some. Now that's probably not the answer that they were looking for, but in practicality, you oftentimes can mix in white to make something lighter, because it says pale, right? So pale yellow green color. Now, if we're going to, could it be cyan yellow? Oh yeah, you could do that. It could be cyan plus yellow, so there's other different, you know what, in all honesty, there's more than one possible answer for this one, because there's more than one ways you could make it. You could do cyan plus yellow, you could do green plus yellow. You could, I suppose, do blue plus orange. Even that would work, right? There's a lot of different, so there's a lot of different ways that you could actually do this one. There's not only one answer. When you're making a color, there's oftentimes many different ways to make it. But when you're determining what color something is, there's only one correct answer. So for number 3, you could probably do it, more than one different way. All right. So how else? So I think it's also asking, so if you want to do the same thing with light, okay? So for light, what I would do, honestly, for that is you want to mix a whole bunch of colors together, all right? And so you want to mix the colors together that's going to make your green and yellow. So you're going to make, probably have, green light plus yellow light. In fact, I'm not sure. I have to go back and look in the book exactly which types of colors, because paints, you have all different colors of paints, but there might be limited colors of the lights that you can use. But if I'm unlimited in terms of the lights that you can use, I would probably make it green plus yellow, plus, blue plus orange. And together, that's going to have a whole lot of light there. So it's going to be close to white. If we had violet and red on there too, it's going to be completely white. But we're basically taking away, making white light and removing the violet and the red. And so if I have green plus yellow plus blue plus orange, it's going to make a pale yellow-green color, okay? So if I could, I would combine all 4 of these colors together, okay? All right, could one be red and green? Red and green. Red and green, I think are gonna make just yellow, but it depends. In all honesty, there are more than one answers for this. So if you wanna combine red and green, you could do that. You would just have to make more blue than red, which is what you do on the computer, right? So you only have the primary colors on the computer. And so if you wanted to make this pale yellow-green, you would probably do something like, I don't know, you have red, right, red, blue, green. So you would combine all 3 of those together. I don't know if you guys can even see me. And you guys can even play around with this. It's fun if you do a little bit of computer programming or just web design or anything, and you can just play around with these different colors. What do you think is going to make some kind of pale yellow? I'm just going to guess here. So a pale yellow green. So you want to have the red, blue, green. You're going to want to have green as like your maxed out. So whatever 255, or however you could do that hex or however you want to do that, and then. So the other way to do that would be like FF of your green. And then you want to have some red and blue there too. So red plus blue are going to make yellow. But you don't want to turn this into white. So, let's think here. Man, that's a good question. I mean, I'm kind of getting off track a little bit here. But maybe you might have, I don't know. That's going to make it, You know what? You know what? I'm not sure. I'm gonna make. If you want to make, I'm gonna remove some. I don't know. Yeah, look that up. Look that up. What did actually? I'm gonna look that up real quick. What is? So if I want to make a pale yellow green on the computer, what would that be? I'm trying to find it. Yellow green. Okay, here we've got something for the computer. It's going to give us for red. Oh, I'm sorry. It should be red, green, blue. It's going to be red of 154, green of 205, and blue of 50. Okay, and that's going to get you a pale yellow green. And actually that looks a little bit dark to me, so I'd probably increase all these. So I'd go back and I'm going to say, all right, so let's make 255 for the green. Let's say make 200 for the red. Make blue, let's say 80 or 90. Okay, and then that's something like that. Anyway, this is just way more than I intended to go into. Mr. Ketz could be turning into yeah, exactly. Yeah. So anyway, this is definitely not what the book intended, but I just felt like going there because whatever. Let's get into the last question here. Sorry, guys. Friday afternoon. My brain is just kind of done with this stuff. This is why I did sound. Yeah. All right. I don't think you need to know all this for the lighting, but maybe. Who knows? Whatever. Critical thinking. The light reflected from the surface of a pool of water observed through a polarizer. Very cool. How can you tell if the reflected light is polarized? What did you guys come up with? I could answer this really, really quickly, but let me see what you guys came up with. How can you tell if it's polarized or not? And it's probably going to be polarized because oftentimes the light reflected off of a surface of water is polarized. But what do you guys think? If it brightens, it's polarized. That's not exactly how you're going to tell. If the light goes through the water, well, okay, still, that's not exactly how you're going to tell. How can you tell if it's polarized or not? You need to specifically do something with the polarizer. Okay, well, how do you know whether it's perpendicular to the water surface or not? You need to do something with your polarizer. What are you going to do with your polarizer? And you can do this really cool if you have polarized sunglasses. You don't even need to have a specific polarizer. You just use your sunglasses. Exactly, you change the angle. So let's say you have, all right, let's suppose these are sunglasses and not just glasses, okay? If these were polarizers, all you do is you just move it like this. And when you're moving it like that, you're gonna see a difference in the light that's reflected. And you're gonna go, it'll be like one angle, and you're not gonna necessarily know, which way your polarizer is orienting the light. But from one angle, it's gonna look exactly like it does without a polarizer. But as you move it 90 degrees, now you're not gonna see any of the reflected light. There'll be like zero glare, and you'll be able to see down to the bottom of the water. So it's super cool. If you ever try that, using polarized sunglasses, you can just like see straight through glare if it's polarized the right way. And you can notice it just by taking your polarized glasses or taking your polarizer and tilting it 90 degrees. And then you just tilt it again, 180, and it goes back to normal. Okay? So just going around 90 degrees, if you tilt the polarizer, if you turn that polarizer, you're going to see, just change the angle. 90 degrees, you're going to get completely different kind of situation. And it is really cool. And you guys all should have polarizing sunglasses. Yeah, they're more expensive, but they're cool because why to get polarizing sunglasses? Because they remove the glare. And they can remove the glare from a lot of things. From clouds, they can remove glare from the water. The water's a big thing. They can remove glare even from the road. The road, when you're driving, sometimes, like especially after it's rained or something, you can get all this glare from the road or from the snow sometimes. And your polarizing sunglasses are going to take that out. At least they're going to do a good job. Yes. And if you've got them around, you can just play around with them sometimes. So I've used this. If anybody's done photography, if you get into any kind of serious photography, you need a polarizing lens. And they're really cool because as you turn them, you turn the lens 90 degrees, you can completely cut out glare from different things. It's super awesome for the water and super awesome for a nice, bright, blue, sunny day. And if you have it, the polarizer, you can get some really deep blues on a sunny day. Whereas if you didn't have the polarizer, it's not going to be nearly as deep blue. So polarizers are important filters for photography. It's nice for sunglasses, and it's really cool. So what does polarizing do? Hopefully you guys have read about it in your book, but a polarizer basically is made out of some kind of oriented material. So you've got some more, kind of material. Now my lighting is all messed up. But anyway, so you have some kind of, let's say, this is your material and your light is coming through. So ordinarily, your light is going to be traveling. So this is kind of a head-on view. Ordinarily, light is going to be traveling right in waves, but if it's coming right at you, those waves can be oriented. They can be going, up and down. They can be going left and right, or any angle at all, right? Any angle whatsoever, okay? And so you're going to just get non-polarized light. That's kind of normal, right? But if you have some kind of oriented material, and this happens for a lot of different things on various different surfaces, that now it's going to preferentially absorb various different kinds of orientations, so that after it goes through that material, you're preferentially only getting, let's say, light that's oriented like one direction. Now it can be oriented, you will be able to get some light like this, but it's going to cut down all of the light that's oriented, that's perpendicular to it. Okay, so that's what a polarizer does, and that's what various different surfaces do. It's fairly common for things to polarize light, so you don't need something special. It works for polymers, it works for water on surfaces, it works for water in clouds. A whole lot of things can polarize light. All right, so does the color of glass affect their efficiency? What efficiency we're talking about? Are we talking about efficiency of polarizers? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know the answer to that. Maybe. Yeah, it might, but I'm not sure. Your polarizing sunglasses are typically going to have more than one orientation of this polarizing thing, so they can cut out more sunlight, reducing glare. Yeah, maybe. I would guess that the dimmer glass would reduce glare better, but I'm not 100% sure. So I haven't looked into that specifically. So yeah, good question. I would think probably yes, but I'm not sure. Any other questions? That's literally it for today. I don't have anything else to talk about. Here we go. Because absorption of wavelengths. Yeah, so maybe. But again, Jeremiah, I'm not 100% sure on the answer to that. I would think that would make sense for it to have some effect and to improve the reducing of glare, but I'm really not sure. Yeah. It might not. I don't know. Anyway, so that's it. That's literally it for today. You guys make sure you do the review for Monday, and then we'll go over the answers on Monday, and your test will be on Tuesday. The test here is going to be kind of a normal length test. It's going to be a little bit longer than the test that we've been having recently. And so be prepared for that. And I'll give you guys a little bit more time to make sure you can do, have enough time for that. So maybe we'll start it. Oh no, we can't start it early. because our class is now at the end of the day. So I'll let you guys have, an extra maybe 5-10 minutes at the end. Okay. And so we'll have a full length test on Tuesday, and Monday is going to be any kind of questions you guys have, bring it on Monday. And probably, the biggest part of the test is going to be those mirror questions and drawing those mirror diagrams. But definitely be prepared for your decibel calculations, your sound intensity calculations, and make sure you have a little bit of knowledge of light polarization and light colors and sound, things like sonic booms, how that works, radar, how radar works, resonance, how resonance works, also your whole Doppler effect, all that kind of stuff. So I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to incorporate those concepts into the test yet, but expect to have some kind of conceptual question on the test too. Okay? All right. So that's about it. That's about it. That's all I really wanted to talk about today. polarity. Yeah, polarity does play a part in the whole polarization of light, but you have to have ordered particles. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and end there. And anybody that needs to, oh, you know what I'm thinking of? So we got the chess going on, and oh, by the way, so anybody interested, so I'm just gonna kind of just talk about stuff if you guys are still here. My daughter lost a tooth last night, so first tooth that she lost, awesome. And also yesterday was a big day for my daughter. Not only did she lose her first tooth, but also it was her YouTube debut. So we have we made a YouTube video together for a chemistry lab that we're doing. And you guys have already done chemistry, but yeah, so we got her YouTube debut, and you can see her is my most recent YouTube video other than my live stream stuff. So you can see my daughter on our very first YouTube video together if you're interested. And let me see what else. Oh, and I'm thinking of, today's May 1st, right? So I was thinking of making an exercise challenge, and I was thinking of making it a pull-up challenge. So for whatever day of the month it is, so today's the 1st, that's the number of pull-ups that you have to do. Anybody want to join me on this pull-up challenge? That would be awesome. So today's the 1st, so we all got to do like one pull-up. And then as we get into, let's say, the 20th, then you got to do 20 pull-ups, et cetera, et cetera. So that's going to be my exercise challenge for the month of May. That's going to be Pull-Up May. Anyway, anybody want to join me on that? That'd be awesome. And I think I'm going to post that to my other YouTube channel. And yeah, anyway. So time for me to just skip out. End of the day, Friday. Blessings to everybody. Hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. And see you guys. If anybody has any questions, just email me. Okay? All right, see ya. Does it have to be pull-ups, push-ups, or, good question. I don't think, it's not going to be push-ups, because I think we can make another month, like, maybe the month of June to be push-up month or something like that. But if it's not going to be pull-ups, it can be like hang time, okay? So if you can't do 30 pull-ups on, May 30th, then you can hang there for 30 seconds. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be able to do it 30 straight, but I'm just going to do, maybe like 10, 10, and 10, or, something like that. We'll see what I can do when I get up to May 30th. But, if you can't do pull-ups, you can just hang there for 30 seconds or whatever. Anyway, so that's just my challenge.